People spend also from a business standpoint, people worry too much about being liked. They let their emotions get in the way. Emotions are for friends and for family. There's no emotions in business. I'm not saying being unemotional, but you know the people that if you do something for, they're going to reciprocate.
Emotions have no place in business. You don't need to be emotional.
Right.
Emotions cause mistakes.
And emotions, and the thing is that S at the end, that S at the end is what kills you. If you have an employee that comes in with a bunch of different emotions on a regular day, you don't know what you can get out of that person. You don't know what's going to happen. The greats, when they're in the zone, they play with one emotion, and whatever emotion it is for that person. For some of them, it's at a real high. For others, it's at very calm and collective, and it's cool. But that emotion, one emotion, works for that individual. When you have emotions that come in with that S on the end, if you see how that S is built, they start at the top, and what they start doing, they just start sliding to the bottom. It's just like that when you were a kid, when you used to go through that little slide all the way to the bottom, and then what do? You got to take the stairs all the way back up top. That's what emotions do. Emotions with that S make you weak. How many times have you made a poor decision because your emotions got in the way?
If you can remove emotions, everyone would be a better decision maker. And the decisions, big or small, is what determines, someone's success. It all boils down to choices.
A lot of times you try to control your emotions and all this other stuff. Here's what it is. You can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. And a lot of times the way you responded puts you in a place that's not good. And if you really think about it, I go back to your childhood days or even your teenagers or something now. Every fucked up decision you made, somebody talked you into it, and you end up regretting it. Hey, man, listen, I'm going to stand outside here. You run into that store, steal that candy bar, I'll wait for you. Oh, that's a great idea. You run into the store. Now you're the one that got caught shoplifting. You're the one that's in trouble with your parents. And this happens even at a later age because people are afraid to tell you the truth. And if you're a business owner, don't be afraid to tell the truth. Athletes hold everybody accountable. Your best coaches treat everybody the same, whether it's the star on the team or whether it's the last person on the roster or the last person on the practice squad. They hold everybody accountable. They treat them exactly the same. They don't let them get away with stuff when things are going good or when things are going bad. You have a lot of individuals in business. I bet you even this has happened to you a couple of times. You get an individual who's making their sales numbers, who are doing great. And now all of a sudden you let them start sliding with a few things. You have your non-negotiables. You make like, you know what? That person's making their numbers. I'll let them slide a little bit. Listen, if it's not acceptable in losing, it's not also acceptable when they're winning. You hold them to the same standards that they need to perform at that level every single time. And you being the boss and me being on the top of what I do is, well, I'm the boss, so I don't do that anymore. Well, what the hell does that mean you don't do that anymore? All right. You did it to get to where you were at. If you're the top, you're the kingpin, you're the boss, you should still be doing everything and have the ability to do no matter how small the job is or how big it is. That's how people stay successful. That's how they continue to gain respect. That's how they become leaders where people are willing to follow them because they do any job necessary to keep things going. If you're in a restaurant, how many times have you seen this? They may be a short staffed and you'll get the manager and the manager will just stand there and he'll be like, listen, that's no longer my job. I'm the manager of this place. He or she's busy out there greeting people and so forth. No, the true manager, the true leader is out there still greeting the people. Make sure the kitchen is working well. Make sure the food is getting to the places because every single customer and every detail matters. You know how they say, don't sweat the small stuff? Sweat everything. Every little detail matters. We're sitting in this studio here. Before we started, you guys came in, you adjusted the lights, adjusted the mic, you could have done all this other stuff. Those little details matter. The same thing in business. Every single detail matters.